Now, following more than a week of riots all across the globe, the government of Pakistan declared today to be, quote, a day of love for the prophet. But instead, it became a day of hatred as American flags were once again being burned. Now, the same scene can be witnessed in cities all across the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and Northern Africa. Now, remember, earlier this week, the U.S. government shelled out your money, 70 grand, on an apology ad campaign that was aimed at so-called quelling anti-American rage. Well, I guess this latest round of apologies is not working either. Joining me now, Fox News political analyst Juan Williams, former Bush speechwriter Mark Thiessen is with us. You know, Juan, I want to know what's going to happen here. You know, the apology tour failed, you know, calling American servicemen and women, saying he's going to end torture when we was talking about EITs. When is he going to do something? When is he going to send a message? Stop breaching our embassies, stop burning our flags, stop killing our personnel. When is that going to happen, Juan?
It's already happened. You must have missed it. He said it was inexcusable. That he understands the idea of religious tolerance, but there's no excuse for that kind of violence or attacks on American property.
Well, no. Listen, in past years, I'm going to tell you something, Juan. If George Bush, Ronald Reagan were president, this wouldn't be happening, because they'd be scared to death to do this. And this is the difference, Mark.
Now, Sean, are you serious when you say to me
I'm serious.
that nothing like this ever happened under President Bush?
What I'm saying is they wouldn't be spending $70 million in Pakistan aimed at radical Islamists that hate our guts, because they are radical Islamists, to suck up to them and apologize on behalf of this country for doing nothing wrong. Mark.
You're exactly right, Sean. And, you know, it's interesting. I remember after September 11, 2001, those attacks, the hand-wringers on the left said, you can't send American troops to Afghanistan. You can't put American troops in Iraq because the Arab street will explode. There'll be a conflagration of anti-American violence. Well, guess what? It hadn't happened until now. Why is that? Why is it that only under Barack Obama, when he's doing everything supposedly the Islamic radicals want, he's pulling our troops out of, he's pulled all our troops out of Iraq, he's pulling them out of Afghanistan. He's announced a pivot from Middle East to South Asia. He said we're going to focus on nation building at home, but they're burning effigies of Barack Obama across the Middle East.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you the reason.
What does this? Look at these images, Juan. They burning our flag all over the world. They're raiding our embassies. They're killing people. And the president's response to this is spend our money on an advertisement campaign saying we're not responsible for the movie trailer, which we now know, as we reported at the top of the program, had nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with it.
Wait a second. Let me just make a couple points. One is, the reason that we give money to Pakistan, the reason that we have a relationship is
we're running ads. I'm speaking of ads that we're running with Obama begging them to like us.
You also asked, why do we give money to these people who clearly are not our best allies, and haven't been friends to us, and as you just saw in terms of those tapes, are burning the American flag. And I just want to remind you, they're a nuclear power, and we want some influence there. Secondly,
please, radical Islamists like
in the mountains of Pakistan. We're still going after those Al-Qaeda folks in the mountains of Pakistan, and we want our American soldiers to have the way to get there and to attack those folks.
You know what these radical Islamic Mark, let me ask Mark this. You know what the radical Islamic world is seeing right now? They are seeing a weak president.
Exactly.
They have no respect for him. None.
It's absolutely, you know, my old boss, Don Rumsfeld, used to say weakness is provocative, and that's what we're seeing. Across the Middle East, we're seeing America in retreat. We've seen an American ambassador killed in Libya, and the administration is afraid to call it what it was, a terrorist attack. We see they tear down the American flag and raise the black banner of Al-Qaeda over our embassy in Cairo, our embassy in Yemen, our embassy in Sudan, and we can do nothing about it. We have a president who's announcing that we're retreating from Afghanistan and Iraq so we can do nation building here at home, who won't meet with Netanyahu and won't draw a red line for Iran's nuclear program. This is what we're facing right now. It's weakness. Weakness is provocative, and that's why we're having this violence now.
Guys, what happened to diplomacy, gentlemen? Are you two saying that we should go to war?
We're giving money to the Muslim Brotherhood. Is that a wise thing to do?
Strength.
The Muslim Brotherhood.
What happened to the freedom agenda?
For the pretext. You stop apologizing for the pretext, which is this ad, and not the cause, which is weakness.
Absolutely. All right, we got to run. And later on in the program,